Hello, everyone. Or should I say, hello, everyone? I'm going to dub something. Our well-paid editor is going to dub something else over what I just said, so that'll be cool.
Has our
S-
editor ever done anything like that?
our editor is very skilled at what talents editing they do.
We still have an editor?
Probably budget cuts, you know.
Why are we paying him? I don't think he's
Yeah.
doing
What is
anything.
our editor
We
doing?
don't get paid. The editor is very well paid.
That's it doesn't
Hmm,
seem correct.
I don't know about that. Okay.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm dealing with some emotional whiplash right now, or movie whiplash, because I just literally walked out of Spider-Man Brand New Day like half an hour ago, and now whiplash to the movie we are talking about tonight.
Spider-Man 3.
No, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
You fellas having fun?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, we so very much enjoyed talking about the Odyssey that we thought we'd do another episode about it. So, wait, what am I talking about? We're talking about Obsession tonight. Guys, come on, being silly
I'm sorry
to
we
start the
distracted you from
episode.
I'm sorry we distracted you from doing your job.
Hey, with great power comes great responsibility. I get that. I understand that. I appreciate it. I respect it, and I accomplish it. So let's talk about Curry Barker's directorial sophomore feature. What do you guys think?
Sophomore feature? What was his first?
I don't know. I saw that he did something else first, and hold on, I'm on Letterboxd. Give me a second.
Okay.
I really should have had this prepped. Um, Director of 9 films, 7 of which are shorts or unreleased.
Okay.
Sort by release date, newest first. Milk and Cereal 2024. It's a 62-minute feature. A surprise birthday prank takes a turn for the worse when a popular social media duo must face the reality of the terrifying aftermath.
Okay.
Okay.
Starring Curry Barker
I didn't
and
see it.
Cooper Tomlinson, who is also in
Um,
this movie.
I have not seen that. Um, Willing to admit it, but I did see Obsession,
So did I.
and I really liked it. I know we'll talk about sort of I know Ben's gonna want to talk about box office and sort of like, the
What this
profit
means for
margin,
horror.
what this means.
I already kind of did that with Backrooms. I don't.
Yeah,
But I wasn't on that episode.
well, we
I
could have
was sick that week.
anyways, I really liked it. It was it really is a great movie. Like it is, what is it, like an hour 50 or something? So it's really tight.
Ballpark.
Yeah. Story's compelling, characters are written well. Yeah, we'll get into it more, but it's kind of my opening thoughts.
Yeah. No, I was a fan when first saw it. Um,
Did you rewatch it for the pod?
I did not know.
I didn't either.
When did you guys see it in theaters when it first came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I had the Peacock experience,
Mm.
and afterwards was wishing that I had gone to a theater.
Yeah, it was great in theaters. Most movies are great in theaters.
Yeah.
I would say movies are generally always better in theaters than they are on streaming,
I would agree with that.
except
Except
for
for Christopher
Netflix's Red
Nolan.
Notice. Red Notice
Oh,
was made for Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben, you were saying
Um,
opening thoughts?
yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great for $750,000, like Max said. We'll bring up the money a little bit. It did really well. I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. I think the numbers speak for themselves. Um, a lot of like lesser known actors, mainly not known actors, and then Andy Richter.
Yeah.
That was their A-lister,
Yep.
Andy Richter.
You think
Um,
he could have gotten them Conan?
yeah, probably for more money. They would have been
True.
inflated to like $800,000 for the budget. I don't know how much
You
Conan
know,
would cost, but what?
you said the numbers speak for themselves. Let's talk about the numbers. We're going to speak for the numbers.
Right.
$750,000 budget. And as of, yeah, we're recording this on Wednesday, July 29th. As of yesterday, Tuesday, July 28th, it had made $459 million at the box office, which is like a billion% return on investment. Math is hard.
Yeah, it's close.
Pretty close.
That's
Pretty close.
insane. That's insane.
I would imagine the studios are pretty happy with that. I'm no expert though.
This is true.
Yeah, the studios, we don't need to be experts. We're unqualified for a reason.
Yeah.
They are thrilled. I mean, we'll talk about what we liked about the actual movie itself, but let's talk about what I thought Ben would talk about, and what I'm sure Ben will talk about here, and that's what this means for indie films and what it means for horror films and what it means for indie horror. This
Yeah,
is a fresh
hopefully
new idea.
keeps going. Hopefully they keep funding new and exciting things and don't just
Fund, fund young, exciting, talented filmmakers.
George, you gotta get into horror. You gotta start making horror films. Nobody breaks in with comedy films
I'm
anymore.
we're doing a comedy murder mystery this fall we're shooting, and then I do have another murder mystery on tap that I would like to do next, but I could do a horror
You gotta break the cycle. You gotta do something.
comedy writers make great horror.
Yeah, Curry
Jordan
Barker
Peele,
was
Curry Barker.
yeah. He had a comedy duo.
Is it him and Cooper Tomlinson who plays Ian?
Yeah. And then they made this. I don't know, Jordan Peele, another good example. Zach Krager.
That's
Well,
right.
there's something about comedy and also just having enough lightheartedness. These are horror movies that are not trying to scare you all the time.
No.
They're kind of ridiculous and stuff.
Obsession's not really scary.
No, it's much more of a scary concept, and then there's
Yeah.
scary scenes, but there's definitely a lightheartedness to it. It kind of reminds me of some Sam Raimi stuff. Um, there's one called Drag Me to Hell, which is it feels similar. And I'm sure that Sam Raimi was probably an inspiration for those guys. Another guy that's, he started in horror and then he turned his horror franchise into a comedy franchise.
You're talking about Evil Dead?
Yeah. But they go hand in hand, I think. But much harder to break in with comedy, I think, for anybody. I don't know if there was a good time to do like a comedy movie. You can break in as like a
Probably right around when like Adam McKay and Judd Apatow were getting into it, like early 2000s.
yeah, I suppose. I mean, I guess if you have like Will
If you had
Ferrell,
if you had
I,
Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler as your lead.
I gotta see what they did before that, how they actually like got in.
Well, Apatow was an Adam McKay protege, as I recall.
Hmm.
And McKay, he and Farrell founded Funny or Die after Farrell was already on SNL. I'm pretty sure.
I
That
think
doesn't seem right.
Well,
but
and then they had a falling out or something.
Because I don't entirely recall how Farrell was coming up before SNL.
I thought Farrell got on SNL and then got famous. But
Yeah. Blew up. He was the most famous comedy actor in the world.
yeah, definitely, definitely not. All right, Adam McKay.
So while Ben works
Oh,
on that,
that's how he got in. McKay got in as a that's this is the one way you get in is comedy. SNL. McKay was a writer for SNL.
that makes a ton of sense,
That's how he met Will
That
Ferrell.
would help. That would help.
But they founded Funny or Die in 2007. They
which
were
was after Farrell was on SNL. He was on in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
yeah, mid I think they started in like the mid 90s.
Yeah, he was on for like 15 seasons or something.
No, not
Like,
that long.
Farrell? No, no, he was
He
only
was on for
on
like
for maybe
7 years, maybe.
if that,
mm,
probably like four. I think
Because
probably.
he was gone by the time the like Kristen Wiig, Bill Hader, Bobby Moynihan, like that era, Andy
sure.
Samberg, that
That's
era,
true. Yeah, yeah.
as they were coming in, Farrell was already long gone.
Mm,
That's
Farrell was more of
SNL.
the like Fallon, Horatio Sands, that kind of late 90s, early 2000s era.
Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
mhm.
Daryl Hammond.
Uh,
Guys could just sit around, call it a podcast, and name SNL veterans for 40 minutes and then post it
please,
on YouTube.
please don't.
Let's
Now
not do that.
let's get back to Obsession because it is a truly, truly excellent film. Worth every bit of the hype. And I feel like what made it so accessible to me as a non-horror fan was really honing in on Inde Navarette as Nikki and just watching her performance as an acting exercise and just seeing how she essentially plays three versions of the same character in this film. You've got regular Nikki, you've got Wish Nikki, who's psychotic, and then you've got Wish Nikki, who's like the girlfriend who Bear wants. And over time, that second Wish Nikki, the third one I mentioned, is the one who kind of takes the back seat to the psycho. Um, but she's still like some of the best comedic moments in the film are when she makes an appearance during a hysterical episode by the other side of Wish Nikki. Like she'll be screaming and ranting and raving, and then Bear will say, like, okay, fine, I'll stay. And Nikki just goes, okay, and walks out of the room. That was hilarious. It was really funny. So yeah, Inde Navarette plays this character, so many sides to her, so much dimensionality to her, so many layers, literally and figuratively. Um, that I don't know, that was my way into the movie, is just to hone in on what I knew going in would be the performance to watch.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of her performance?
No, she's very good. Um, sorry. I I don't have a
You
lot.
really sounded like you had more to say.
No, I'm a little beat. My mind is a little addled.
That happens. Yeah, I mean, I can jump in there. Yeah, she's great. I mean, I don't, I don't know if a lot of it was funny. I think it's,
No.
it's not supposed to be funny. It's certainly, it's deeply unsettling what the implications of this
Yeah.
wish are, right? And so, like that's why I think horror, that's why I've started to get more into horror. Thank you to this podcast and to Ben and um just there's
No
so
thanks to me.
much. No, certainly not to you. But
Sorry, Joey.
um but we'll get
I wouldn't pretend
we'll
to
get
be.
all of us there. But there's just so much potential with the genre, right? Like that you can sort of work and move in between genres, between the comedic moments that are funny, but then 2 seconds later it's something that is terrifying, but not in a jump scare way, in a psychological or whatever, however it
Sets
was.
you on edge.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's something that works really well with comedy and horror, just that they kind of oppose each other, and so you get, these breaks from horror. Um,
And
But
the key
what's
thing in
or
both
feel
horror
less.
and comedy is timing.
Yeah.
So if you're able to nail timing in one or the other, then it doesn't necessarily translate one to one, but you've got the skill set there.
Well, I think you make a good point, and I think that's why a lot of comedy, like good comedy people, do good horror stuff, which is, for bad comedy and bad horror, in my opinion, it's the same thing. It's like very sort of just it's all functions on the joke landing, but there's no setup. A lot of times it's like jump scares or just like stupid crude jokes, things like that. But a good comedian would like set something up and over and over. Like Norm Macdonald, it's almost like a suspense thing where you're waiting for the joke to land and you just don't know when it's coming. And it's the same idea with suspense, which is really, I think, elevated horror, as they call it, instead of just throwing a bunch of scary things at you. But that's what horror used to be.
that
And I'm
that
glad it's sort
scene
of coming back.
that scene in the third act where Bear and Sarah are in the car together, the way that it's very simple shot construction. You've got a not quite an OTS on Bear, and then the flip reverse of that shot is your OTS of Sarah. But the way the shot of Sarah is framed leaves the entire car window on the driver's side in the frame. And so what Curry Barker is doing is he's preparing you as an audience member for, all right, something's going to happen with that window. It wouldn't be, we would get the same shot, the same angle on Sarah that we have on Bear, where he's kind of center frame and we only see part of the window. We see the seat head back. We see a little bit of the back seat in the shadow, but it's very deliberate on the other side, the shot of Sarah with the window in. And so I'm watching that scene and I'm thinking the whole time, yeah, Nikki's gonna do something. Nikki's gonna pop up from like underneath the window and jump into frame and scare the shit out of me. And so the entire scene, I'm like, all right, well, we're back on that shot now. When's it gonna happen? And then instead of popping into frame to startle or scare, she like comes from the background outside the window and runs up to the window and then smashes it and then smashes Sarah's face into a brick on the steering wheel, killing her. And I think that's something really clever that some of these horror films, and we haven't seen, or I haven't seen a lot of the horror movies that we've done, but I've seen a fair few of them. And I've dipped my toe into other slashers and horror comedies and whatnot. Um, but what I think that scene and what the movie is really as a whole does really well is that it's got that unsettling premise that we've already talked about and the whole extremely fucked up and perverted nature of Bear's Wish as a baseline, but then it's not relying on, like you said, Ben, classic horror tropes or jump scares or
No, I say
tri
it's the jump scares. No, this is very based on classic horror
all
tropes.
right, modern. modern, we're gonna like shock and awe, startle, scare you, that kind of horror.
It's not
Um,
being more modern, or I would say like the 2000s era.
okay, so it's not more mainstream horror, can we say, that we see nowadays?
I mean,
It
a
is more
few.
traditional. Okay.
There's been a few now that have done this, but again, this is what horror used to be back in the day. With
Yeah, it's
slashers, they sort of I love them, but they did dumb down the genre into
it
just
made it a
kill
lot
fest,
about jump scares.
jump fest or jump scares and kill fests. That's all they were.
To be fair, this movie is kind of a kill fest. Three out of its four leads die.
Yeah, no, that's not a kill fest, George. No, a kill fest is like,
Considering there are
oh,
really only four
Like an
characters in
entire
the
town
movie,
gets killed in the span of a day
there's
and a half.
some of the later like Friday the 13th movies. There's one called Jason Takes Manhattan where he goes on a boat, just starts killing this entire class of people on a boat while they're sailing to Manhattan on it or going there. It's not a sailboat.
Is it
Uh,
good?
no, it's horrible, but it's really entertaining. There's a One of the kills is this guy who was really into boxing. He's like, "Come on, Jason, come on!" And you could find this
no.
on YouTube. The greatest kill ever. Jason literally, instead of taking his machete or whatever weapon he had at the time, um, he literally just punches him, and his head literally comes clean off and, and gets knocked into a dumpster in New York. Like, so yeah, that kind of like turned the genre into a bit of a joke. I think probably that's probably what did it. But again, I hope that the Oscars and like I should say just media in general has started to take it more seriously. There's a few horror movies that have been taken seriously, like The Shining and things like that back in the day. But even that was not really given Oscar noms and things like that, even though you certainly could have. So I don't think this is probably an Oscar movie, but it's very good, and I hope that it's again, there's been a few of these movies now, but I hope that it's a continuation that I see and not just let's fund, these people. And I hope that these directors come back with more and more exciting things.
Well, let me push back on that for a second, Ben. I know we didn't do an episode on Weapons last year, but did you expect Weapons would be an Oscar movie? I mean, to a large degree, it wasn't, but Amy Madigan, she won.
Okay, yeah, I gotta be honest, I can't. That's She's good, but an Oscar, I don't know. That's more of a what do we call it? A legacy Oscar. So yeah, I mean, fair
So,
enough. But
do you see Inde Navarette getting any award season buzz?
I mean, probably, but not for Oscars, just because it's too tight. Maybe like a Golden Globe nom or something like that. But
In the musical or comedy category, no doubt,
yes, that's where it goes.
because that's where the Globes have decided all horror goes. Except, didn't I mean, Sinners isn't traditional horror, but Sinners was in the drama category last year.
Yeah, but that's like
It's an action drama.
you can do that one. Honestly,
Genre not conforming.
a lot of Jordan Peele's movies are pretty genre bending. I'd say Sinners is pretty genre bending. At times it's very comedic, at times it's very dramatic, thrilling. I mean, again, it is like actually less of a horror movie than it is more of like a supernatural thriller in a way.
Yeah. It's funny, I didn't obviously in hindsight, it's obvious, but I didn't know categorically what Wikipedia would define obsession as in supernatural horror. And I guess on the surface, it's supernatural because of The Wish, and it's horror because it's a horror movie. But I don't know, as someone who has historically avoided supernatural horror as like the one type of horror that I would never ever watch, this didn't feel like that. Didn't feel like a horror movie.
No, I mean, and Curry Barker has said just in the junket that he has a vision, or he has in the, recent past, I guess, had an idea to expand this universe and maybe do like an anthology series where there's a wish per episode or something where it doesn't have to be just horror, right? And like, I'm not saying that I want that, but that goes to the point of like, there's different ways to approach these kinds of stories, And we got this sort of more supernaturally horror-ish one with Obsession, but that there's like room to expand.
I want to see what would have happened if Ian had had a chance to use his $1 billion.
No,
You know
Is
what?
fuck
that
Ian.
what you're getting at?
No, fuck Ian.
Ben, you're
So,
shaking your head. Why are you shaking your head?
Oh no, I look, I love anthology series, but if you're gonna do one, you have to start with the idea of that, in my opinion. I mean, there's plenty of people that do. Stephen King just adds on stories all the time, and they like loosely connect here and there. So I guess you could do something like that, but if you wanted to do something like that, I would much rather see him do like a Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, whatever anthology you want to pick. Sort of story like that. Tales from the Hood. Maybe he wants to go that direction. These titles mean nothing to you, I'm sure, but the real horror knowers, they would know these.
I'm
scary
sorry.
stories to tell in the dark.
That's
Oh, I know that one. I know
that's
that one.
it's an updated version. Like those are the kids' versions and Goosebumps, all based on some of these anthology stories, and then
R.L.
the big
Stein.
the Big Daddy, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone was
Oh,
gas. I used to watch that in like sophomore year of high school English class when the teacher didn't like want to do anything for the day. He would just throw on an episode of Twilight Zone. First time I saw
pretty good.
Nightmare at 20,000 Feet was in that class.
There you go.
The episode of the Twilight Zone.
It's a good episode, though I think it's probably been overdone, overhyped. Um,
Shaw.
yeah, I mean, I would like to see like an anthology from him, but I just don't want him to touch this. I feel like this is such a great movie, and it has such a horror, just heart-wrenching, ending for Nikki.
Yeah.
I don't want to have anything like lessen that fact. I think it's a brilliant movie as is.
So what I think what he meant was that it would be like the idea of the one wish willow being the common thread between all the stories.
Oh,
That
okay, all right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that each
Yeah,
wish is
that's what I
different.
was getting from that too. Ben, what were
Yeah.
you getting?
No, no,
I
I know what you
I
mean. I
thought
know
The
what you thought I
I
characters?
meant.
thought he meant like there would be this, magic shop that just goes
No, 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 no. It's
on.
just the one wish willow that each
Oh, okay.
episode like incorporates a wish and that it doesn't have to just be horror. It could be,
Seems
like
very
something different.
Black Mirror to me.
It does. Yeah.
But Black Mirror had that
Like
one
Black,
episode that I hated because they ruined it all.
which one?
Um, was it Black Museum? Is that what it was called?
Is that the one with uh Letitia Wright?
I think so. Man, it's been a
Where it's
while.
like
I only
the
saw it once.
where,
It's
the,
the
where she goes to the
museum.
museum and it's like all the artifacts from the past episode. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's that's Black Museum.
Look, I don't think it's a bad episode per se, but I do not like the concept of taking your anthology series that was like loosely connected and then just
Actually
directly
connecting it.
saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, you remember all that stuff? Yeah, it happened here. It's crazy, right? All in one universe."
To be fair, Black Mirror took a big downturn once it left the British control and went to
Channel
Netflix.
4.
Yeah, Channel
Yeah.
4 or whatever. It was like the first three seasons were incredible, and then
I
it
mean, there
started
are
again.
still some good ones. Some of the
USS
best
Callister was
episodes
great.
came
Yeah, there's some great
afterwards.
episodes. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's just a function that
That Paul Giamatti one was fantastic.
Yeah, that was the last season. So it's a function that like a lot of them sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss.
Yeah.
Some of the Channel 4 ones are not that good. So it is what it is. But again, it's a better episode than some of the others. I just don't like the concept of like tying them all in.
I would watch a series of One Wish Willow anthology stories.
I also think I wanted to get away from this concept. It's a good
Yeah, I was gonna
concept
say I don't think it should be his next thing.
No, 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 no. At some point down the road, maybe
because
if the creativity and ideas dry up.
this is not exactly a new concept. The Willow is, but the wishes that go bad, are
Be
that's
careful what you wish for has been done a billion times in fiction.
I think it's probably thousands of years old. It's a concept.
All right, so before we wrap up, got a fun question for you guys. What would you wish for?
Not what Bear wished for.
Well, yeah.
World
Uh,
peace.
Boo.
what did he say?
World peace.
I
Keep in
wish
mind, you
for
don't think it's gonna work when you make the wish.
Well, I
okay,
do
so
now. I
if
would probably just wish for a bunch of money. Like that, I mean, that's the easy. I would probably do what Ian did. Like that's the easiest thing to do.
Max, you got a friend behind you.
I
two
know.
two answers for you. If Max said world peace, I'd say wish for a world war just to cancel it out.
No, Ben, that's bad.
Again, we don't know that's gonna
This
work.
is why I'm the only one responsible enough for a wish of the three of
Mm,
us, because you
okay.
two would just cancel each other out.
So what are you? What would you wish for then, George?
I am so glad you asked. Probably like a really good sandwich.
All right. Well,
No. I would wish for I don't know how I would phrase it, and I probably should have thought of this before I asked the question, but something to do with advancing my film career.
okay.
Because I do want to work hard and earn it, and I feel like I am, but just getting more recognition, I think.
Within the next, you could phrase it like within the next 5 years, one of my upcoming projects makes it big, but I don't know what it is.
No, you can't say make it big. They could make it big and then like not make any
Like
money and then you
physically
fall.
big.
It could be,
Yeah, it
but
could make
like,
it physically big.
what if
The
that's what works?
gigantic roll of
But that's the
IMAX
th
70
but
millimeter
that's the thing
film.
is like your question was posed like we don't know that it's gonna work or not. We don't think it's gonna work. So you probably would use that kind of language.
True. You're right.
So my wish would be for the power of telekinesis.
Okay.
You're wishing for a superpower?
Yeah,
Okay.
All right. Well,
everyone.
that is a perfect, perfect note to end on. Ben's gonna be able to move things with his mind.
Think about it. I could move. I could take off Max's glasses. Just
Wait a minute. How'd that happen?
Whoa.
now
VFX budget went crazy for the unqualified
duplicate.
film bros.
Thanks to our well-paid editor.
And that is where we're ending it. Obsession is still playing in some theaters. Go check it out. See it in a theater. It's awesome. If for whatever reason you can't make it to a theater, it is also streaming on Peacock. So you can watch it at home, turn off the lights,
Yeah.
enjoy it in as close to a theater experience as you possibly could. All right, so next week we are heading back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Machine, with its latest entry, first film of 2026, right? Marvel hasn't done anything yet this year.
Nope.
Was their last film
Fantastic Four was their last film a year
Fantastic
ago.
Four? Yeah. Because they
So,
did two. They did Thunderbolts and Fantastic. Yeah. hmm
and Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh,
That was also last year.
We don't
oops.
talk about that.
Sorry.
Anthony
Sorry,
Mackie,
Anthony
guys.
Mackie. I
Sorry,
forgot that
Mackie.
was last year.
So two Marvel movies to talk about this year. One next week, Spider-Man: Brand New Day. We'll talk about Doomsday on Doomsday in December. So we will see you for all the Peter Parkerings, all the Spider-Manings, and whoever else might show up. We'll see you for Spider-Man next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.